Trying to be the baddest one, bet the style the loudest one, bending all the rules in this game. Try not to tattle bro, or else I'll have to battle ya, break your mind and rattle ya, checking off my calendars. So I be spitting live in the booth. I be getting high with my youth. And we just hitting miles in the coupe. We're just in a vibe with the crew. Trying to be the baddest one, bet the style the loudest one, bending all the rules in this game. Try not to tattle bro, or else I'll have to battle ya, break your mind and rattle ya, checking off my calendars. So I be spitting live in the booth. I be getting high with my youth. And we just hitting miles in the coupe. We're just in a vibe with the crew. Trying to be the baddest one, bet the style the loudest one, bending all the rules in this game. Try not to tattle bro, or else I'll have to battle ya, break your mind and rattle ya, checking off my calendars. So I be spitting live in the booth. I be getting high with my youth. And we just hitting miles in the coupe. We're just in a vibe with the crew.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to once again another live stream here on the VB Thomas platform. Today, we've got the FRL League with their Season 5 Round 7 of the Austrian Grand Prix. Today, we have got the wrong track information. Hold on, guys, my apologies. So, today, we are driving on the Red Bull Ring here in Austria. First Grand Prix ever held was in 1970. The circuit length is 4.3 kilometers, and the total race distance today will be 155 kilometers in total. It is going to be a short qualifying, a sprint race, and a 50% race afterwards, with a quali record of a 1 minute 2 seconds and 9 tenths set by I think Verstappen. Then we've got the lap record of a 6.9, also set by Verstappen. I think, no, that was set by, I think, Hamilton, 2020. So, Verstappen has won the Grand Prix the most times here on this track. He has won the Grand Prix 5 times. As I said already, the country is going to be Austria with a total of inhabitants of 9,135,000 people. The number of laps is going to be 36, as it is going to be a 50% race. It's quite a short track, so that's why there's going to be a little bit more laps in total. The actual in real life F1 race is going to be 71, but we're doing a 50%, so it doesn't really matter. And the best overtaking opportunities are going to happen in turn 3, turn 4, turn 6, and sector 1 straight. I'm going to check one thing for you guys before we are going to be starting. Yep, seems to be going all pretty good. So, we've got the short qualifying on the screen right now, as we are seeing a couple of guys in, 14 people. 2 guys have disqualified from the session. I'm not too sure what happened there, but we will see that further down the road, as they will have to start from P13 and P14. A couple of guys are out right now. It seems to be Alparca, and he is currently in sector 2. We're gonna get these things popped up, and he goes a little bit too wide, so that won't be an improvement for him. Gonna get the sound of the game up real quick, and then we are good to go. Hope everyone is enjoying today. It was a very beautiful day in Belgium, so doesn't seem to be going all pretty well here in Austria, as it seems like there are some clouds in the sky, so we might see some rain during the actual race or sprint race. Bassa right now on a lap, he spins and he goes into the dirt. Maybe damages his wing there, touching the wall a little bit. Zozen. I need to get used to these names, guys. It's my first time, so I need to get used a little bit. Lozozen with the second fastest lap, a 1.6.0, so that's not too bad. Fastest lap is by AP Pals. He has put in a 105.4. Seems like Guesty is also on the lap. Not too sure if he's going pretty fast. We'll see that after sector 2. He hasn't put a lap in yet, so we might not be able to compare his lap to his previous lap. And we're seeing a McLaren there on the inside. Watch out. Fastest second sector for Guesty. So what will this bring? Touching the inside curb there. A little bit dangerous, because that's a curb where you can easily spin. So a risk worth taken by Guesty. Taking the last corner here, make sure to not clip any curb there on the outside, because you might be able to invalidate your lap. Second fastest lap for Guesty with a 105.8, 4 tenths slower than the first place, so we might not see that getting beaten today. Rizzle, let's see what he's gonna do though. He's usually one of the faster guys. I think he either was second or third last season. He didn't have too much points yet this season. I'm gonna get that up real quick. So this is gonna be the standings for now, as we are seeing an Aston Martin in first and in fourth. AP Palv, so he's currently first in the session, is fourth in the standings. His teammate Davo is in first place in the standings, so that's actually not too bad from the Aston Martin team. Now we've got the Red Bulls in second and third. Let's have a look where Rizzle is. He is all the way back in 14, so we're gonna have a quick onboard lap here from Rizzle. He invalidates this lap there, so he won't be improving anymore. He doesn't have the DRS anymore, so, well, I mean, he can still go for it, but you won't have an advantage, unfortunately. He takes the outside curb there. A little bit too much curb on the inside. Makes him go a little bit too wide on the outside. And that means, yeah, he's just losing time. He's letting guys by, as we are gonna have the Mercedes. Maybe we can have a little onboard camera with the Mercedes. He invalidated his lap 2, so that won't be a good lap from him either. Who is here? It seems to be Alparca, who is in the Red Bull. So I like this Red Bull livery because I'm a big Hard Rock fan. Not too sure if you guys know the Hard Rock Cafe. It's like a thing where they play hard rock while you eat burgers, something like that. That's the best way to describe it. But these guys, they got these little pins, like little guitars. I collect them, so that's why I love them too much. And I love to see them on a livery of an F1 car. I wouldn't say I'm a Red Bull fan, but I mean, makes me go a little bit more supportive towards the Red Bull, you know. Alparca on an outlap right now, and he is going to start his lap. I wonder what he's going to be able to put down here with still 8 minutes to go, as he takes too much curb on the inside there. In my opinion, he didn't have a great exit coming out of that corner. What has he put down? The first sector. It's not going to be a fast first sector, so that definitely won't be beating the top 3 in my opinion, because these guys are too close to each other. 105.4, 105.8, and another 105.8 by Guesty. Barca right now hasn't set a lap in yet. AP Pals with a 105.3, so that's definitely a great improvement. I think he has practiced a lot here. Welcome, Built and Matt. Glad you're joining the live stream. Alparca going into the wall. No, he manages to save his car. He was on a fast lap though, so I'm not too sure if he's going to be frustrated about that. Probably is. He has to watch out for the McLaren right behind him. He's causing yellow flag, so make sure to watch out, everyone who is on track. Rizzle right now. Second sector. Third sector? Third sector. As he is saving some ERS. He probably, I think that's still from last lap where he invalidated. Here I think it was. And he's going to go for another lap. 7 minutes to go. He doesn't manage to get a good exit coming out of that corner. So he had a little bit of a snap. We're going to have a quick onboard ride with him right now. Taking a good curve on the inside. Losing his rear a little bit, but I don't think that's causing too much trouble here, as he will probably have a good first sector. A 117, 116.4, 2 seconds improvement on his previous lap. So he's already up for 120, but he definitely needs to get a couple of more seconds to be able to compete with the top 5. Maybe catch a little bit of slipstream there from the Mercedes. He doesn't catch that, so that's a bit unfortunate. He could have gotten a few hundreds there, as he takes a good exit coming out of that corner right now, going into this two-handed two left-handers, that's what it's called. Fastest second sector for Rizzle right now. He is on a good lap at the moment. What is it gonna be for the McLaren driver coming around these last 2 corners, right-hand corners, as it is going to be important to not invalidate here. He takes a lot of curb, a lot of risk. That's definitely going to be a good lap for Rizzle. 16.4. A little bit disappointed. I thought it was going to be a little bit better because he had that fastest second sector, but I mean, I don't know, this game, it's a little glitchy when it comes down to second sector laps, because, well, second sector times, because it usually, when you're spectating someone, it always shows that they have the fastest second sector. So it's a bit risky, well, what Rizzle did here, because he had the Mercedes right behind him. Is he going for another lap? That's my question for him. He probably isn't though. He's probably on like 10% softs, because he's been on these for like four laps already, 3 laps. I'm gonna have a quick look. Tires, he is on these tires 4 laps already. That's crazy. So yeah, that's why he probably didn't have too much traction that last few corners, as we are seeing Davo putting in the fastest lap in right now, 105.3, beating his teammate. So I think there's gonna be a little bit of a Hamilton Rosberg incident during the race. Well, we might see that during the sprint race, as both guys probably want to have the fastest lap. Well, how do I say this? The fastest sprint race, but you can't not really do a fastest sprint race, can you? Well, you can, but then you finish first. Or you crash and you eventually get the fastest sprint race, but don't finish up first. Well, let's keep that aside, as we have got Macked right now. He's not improving by too much, 1.1 second slower than his previous lap, so we might not see an improvement for him, as he is a little bit faster than Rizzle, though Rizzle all the way back in P9, Parker in P7 doing an amazing job right now. He's not up on his time, as he's probably saving a little bit of ERS. I'm not too sure. He isn't using any ERS, but it's not going up either. Well, he's probably coming into the pits. He actually is. So I wonder if he got enough time to put on a new set of tires. He probably is. It takes around 1 minute to put on some new rubber and go out. But then you've got that out lap, which takes like 1.5 minutes. So AP Pals on his last set of softs, the guys have to save a few tires for the sprint race, I think. I'm not too sure. This game changes every week. It's crazy. So AP Pals right now going for an out lap, well, fast lap right now, as he crosses the line. What is it gonna be for the Aston Martin? Takes a lot of outside curb there, inside curb nailed perfectly, as he's probably getting the fastest first sector at the moment. Let's have a quick look how he's coming around this first sector 2 corner. He loses a little bit of grip there. Doesn't really matter, as he nails that corner perfectly. Let's see if he catches a few slipstreams. It doesn't seem like it. Is he gonna touch the outside curb? It doesn't seem like it. Is he gonna have the fastest second sector? Let's wait a couple of seconds and we will see. As currently he is putting up some great results. He is fourth in the standings, the driver standings. He doesn't have the fastest second sector though. He is improving by 49 thousandths. So that's gonna beat his teammate, but his teammate is also on an out lap, so he'll have to start another lap next lap. Maybe AP Pels can do another lap after this one. He's probably gonna improve by quite a bit here. Ooh, he lost a bit of time in that last sector. 39,000 slower than his previous time. So he was up by 49 thousandths. He was down by 39 thousandths at the end of this lap. So that means he lost about 1/10 in that last sector. Very unfortunate for AP Pals. He's got his teammate right behind him. He just started the lap, so we will be able to see him putting in a new lap here. Is he gonna nail this first sector too? It seems like it. He has a little bit of a snap there coming out of that corner. Nothing too serious, as he isn't into the wall. And I wonder if these guys are gonna keep it clean on track. I'm not too sure. We might be able to see some crashes. It's always a little bit exciting. I'm not too sure what the settings are safety car wise. Because I mean, if the safety car is usually on standard, but with standard you're going to see a lot of safety cars. Watch out on the inside there. Very well done from the AlphaTauri driver, as he is going to push the Aston Martin driver a little bit. He's really close. Let's have a quick look. Well, he's not that close, but it's close enough. Fastest second sector for Devo right now. Devo as he's coming around these last two corners, a little bit too wide on the inside curb there, as he touches the curb on the outside there. It's probably going to be an improvement. It's not going to be an improvement. 19,000 slower. So as his teammate, I'm not too sure if it's the pressure that the guys are feeling, but they're not really improving on their times. Might be I'm not too sure. Probably stress for the sprint race, because we're coming a little bit closer to the sprint race right now. 24 seconds, 20 seconds, as we are currently looking at the Red Bull driver, a 105.4, and what is it gonna be for him? Is he gonna improve? It doesn't seem like he's going any faster. He's not improving, 2 seconds slower, so that will be qualifying over for the Red Bull driver Guesty right now. He improved by 2 tenths, so that's great to see. A 105.5. 72, I'm just gonna call him 72. Welcome, Mickey, to the stream. Long time no see. Hope you're doing all well. Ooh, 72. No way. He invalidated his lap there coming out of the last corner. So we're gonna see that a couple of guys. I'm pretty sure it's still a robot. Yeah, nothing to say about that. Guesty, is he still on a lap? 55,000 slower than his previous lap. He 6 tenths slower. That's not gonna be an improvement for him. DB Rizzle into the pits. He is gonna have to start from P11. He is gonna start from P11. Parker, is he coming around the last corner? He is gonna cross the line with a 2-second slower time than his previous one, and it seems like everyone has crossed the line to finish off this qualifying, so that's gonna be great. Because we're going straight to the sprint. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the strategy as my computer mouse is not working. Maybe we should first look at the results here. Devo in P1, the Welshman has done a great job at the moment. AP Pals in P2. Lozozen, my apologies if I pronounce your name wrong. The Romanian driver is in P3. And we've got Gasti, 72, Alparca, Basa, Mact, DB, Parker, Rizzle in P11. Quite interesting because he was doing a great job last season. Doesn't seem to be going pretty good right now. Haitam, Benji. What are all these names, guys? And then we've got Sloke, Slokey. It's Belgian. I'm Belgian, so I mean, probably how I pronounce it, but doesn't really matter. Benji and Sloke both haven't put a lap in. I wonder what that is. Probably a penalty or a qualifying ban because we're halfway through the season, so that's something interesting to see as we're going to talk a little bit more about the strategy. Of course, this is not for the actual sprint race because during the sprint race we're probably going to see a lot of guys use either soft or medium. It's going to be a no stopper, maybe with a safety car, but I don't suggest going for a pit stop during the safety car because we don't see many people pit during a safety car. It's rain, so never mind about this strategy. As I said earlier, it was gonna rain though, so we were seeing a lot of clouds. But yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this for the second race, as we're gonna have the 50% race after this one. But it's gonna be a medium hard strategy, maybe a hard medium, depends on what you like. All right, so apparently I've got some more information. Sloke got out in the pits. Well, spun out in the pits, so he got disqualified. Quite obvious. It's Formula. Well, it's EA, so shit ass game. And then, oh, and Benji had to stop on track. Not too sure why he had to stop. Probably to leave some room for the other guys, but doesn't really matter. So yeah, as I was saying, the degradation rate is not too high. Overheating probability is only high in the second and third sector, so the first sector is pretty alright. Mainly because of those curbs you have to hit, as the guys are currently warming up their tires. I'm gonna have a quick look what tires they're on. I think they're on wet tires, as I hope they're not gonna be on wet tires during the actual race, because that's gonna be a long way to go. I've got exams tomorrow, so I want to be in my bed as early as possible. All the drivers are currently warming up their tires. Hope everyone is not gonna spin. Well, anyone is not gonna spin because, you know, that's gonna slow down the formation lap. The guys who are gonna put themselves on the grid are gonna have cold tires. Well, that's good. That could be a strategy, you know. That could be a strategy when you want to slow down the drivers in front of you. Just have warmer tires. It's very important in the wet weather to have warm tires, because if you have cold tires, well, is it actually? Is it? That's going to be the question. If anyone can answer that in the chat, make sure you do. Is it more important to have warm tires in the wet weather or in the well in the dry weather? I think in the dry weather, because you've got, well, it's not too. I think it's more important to have cold tires in the wet weather. Because when your tires overheat, they degrade too much. I think that's what seems logical to me. As we're not seeing too much weaving from Dave Ola, as he's coming around the last couple of corners. So we are gonna see everyone putting themselves on the grid. And I wonder if anyone is gonna make a spiral. Well, this little turny thing, which a couple of guys do. Yeah. Are we gonna see it from the Red Bull? Ah, unfortunately. Yeah, sometimes the guys are just doing a pirouette to warm up their tires even more. Maybe do a little bit of a trick shot. It doesn't seem like anyone is doing that today. As AP Palves get disqualified, we're seeing a lot of disqualifications right now. Maybe the Haas driver too. Ooh, from the top 6, 4 drivers have disqualified. That's pretty interesting. So let's have a quick look what things are gonna look like here in the first lap. It is lights out and away we go for the Austrian Grand Prix of the FRL League. As everyone, it seems like the Williams has got a good exit down the inside and it's going all pretty well. It seems like the Aston Martin has been overtaken by Guesty, Lawson in P2. And where is AP Pals? He crashed coming out of the first corner, so that's not too good for him, as he was in P2 when starting the sprint race. Of course, we have to keep in mind that this is not the official results. We will have to wait for the actual race to see and deal out the points. Bassa in P5 right now. Is he up for a move on the AlphaTauri? Doesn't seem like it. There's a little bit of a gap between the Haas driver and the McLaren driver. The AlphaTauri driver went a little bit too wide going into the grass, so that means he has to give up 1 position, probably 2, when Parker is going to overtake him here in the second sector. It seems to be going all pretty well. The Mercedes went a little bit too wide. I'm not too sure what happened there, but he lost 3 positions to the AlphaTauri and the Alfa Romeo. Let's have a quick look. There's going someone on the grid, on the, what is it called? The dirt, whatever it is. Lozozen right now coming across the last corner. Is he gonna set up himself? Well, is he gonna set himself up for a move? Guesty with the fastest lap. It seems like he is pretty well sorted on the wet tire conditions, as he already has a gap of 1.3 seconds. Lozozen right now 5 tenths behind the Aston Martin. Bassa moved up a couple of places. Parker, they're having a 3-way battle here between Alparca, Barker and Hightam, as it is going to be Hightam being at the back of these 3. Is he going to set himself up for a move on Alparca? They're pretty close, although 9 tenths is not too close enough to make a move. 2 guys have come into the pits, Sloka and Matched. Matched, whatever it is. They be 3 seconds behind Benji. That's a big gap already formed, as Benji is trying to set himself up to get closer to Bassa right now, because he's 5 tenths behind the Haas driver. As I'm struggling to find my vocabulary today. I'm not too sure what it is. Alparca, 3-second penalty already. We're lap 2 of the Austrian Grand Prix. Well, it is actually the sprint race, so not actually the Grand Prix. As a couple of guys are coming around the last corner. The top 3 has closed down to each other a little bit, as we're seeing Lozozen 6 tenths behind Davola. Guesty has been caught a little bit, 1.1 seconds. He was 1.3 seconds in front a couple of laps ago. Well, 1 lap ago. There is a yellow flag coming out of sector 1. It seems to be the AlphaTauri 72. Very unfortunate for him, as AP Palves already made up 3 positions. Rizzle coming from P11, I think he was, up to P10, moved up 1 position. I'm not too sure if he is struggling on the weather condition, but it doesn't seem to be going all pretty well. He's 1.4 seconds behind Hightam. And it doesn't seem like anyone is too close to make a move. DB right now 7 tenths, 8 tenths behind Alparca. So we have to see a move from him. Gonna have a quick look with the standings. Alparca in 3rd. He's currently in 6th, so that's only gonna be 3 points for him. during the sprint race. So he has to catch a couple of more because we are seeing Davila in P2 right now and Lozozen in P3. We're both going to catch 7 and 6 points. So they're going to have a little bit more of a gap between them and Alparca at the end of the sprint race. And Alparca also has a 3-second penalty, so he's gonna drop down, as things are looking like right now, 2 positions, maybe 1, depends on how much Parker improves during the next couple of laps. But yeah, this 3-second penalty is definitely not turning out in his favor, as we're seeing Parker in P8 being hunted a little bit by the Alpine and the McLaren right behind him. Rizzle, who is looking to make a move. Is it going to be a move? I'm not too sure. He's not looking to make the move, maybe around the outside, as he takes a wide line coming out of that corner. Yellow flag in sector 2 seems to be 72 as he crashes out of turn, I think it's turn 3, third 4 maybe. Rizzle right now, the Alpine with a little bit of a spin. He loses a little bit of traction. Rizzle cannot take any advantages coming out of that. Maybe he is down the inside. Is it gonna be a move? He's gonna wait for the straight, as he has to get a good exit coming out of this corner and then maybe catch a little bit of slipstream, make the move on the inside of corner turn 1. As the Aston Martin has caught up a little bit. AP Pals is gonna be a big opponent of Rizzle right now, who's trying to get back to P9. Slowkey with a 3-second penalty. How are things looking like here up front, as we got Lozozen 6/10 separated from Davila, as he doesn't seem to be improving too much. An Alpine in the 3rd sector, he has to watch out. Slowkey with the fastest lap right now. He might be a competitor too. What is he looking like in the standings? Slowkey in P12 with 35 points. Doesn't seem to be going all pretty well towards his end, as we're seeing another yellow flag. Seems to be DP. Very unfortunate for him, as he was up for some, well, he was up to grab some good points. Yeah, that's what the sentence was, what I was trying to say. We're still seeing a 3-way battle here up front for the P1 position. Magged in the pit lane, retired from the session. Very unfortunate for him, as I've got to report someone real quick. I will be right back, guys. There we go, and he has been banned. Alright, so guys, we're back at it again. It doesn't seem like there's any move. Maybe Rizzle in P8 and Benji. Oh, move down the inside. It is done by Rizzle. Beautifully done by the McLaren driver, as the Alpine driver is looking to make a move back again though. Let's have a quick look if that's going to happen. 72 with a 3-second penalty. Is it going to be a move in turn 5 right now? I'm not too sure, as I don't know, my screen is a little bit glitched. Uh-oh. Pretty good. Apologies, guys. My screen is glitching a little bit. Alright, I'm back with it again. Three-way battle here between Alparca, Benji, and Baza. What are things looking like for them? Lozozen in P3, still not looking to make a move. Rizzle in P8, is he gonna make a move on Parker? We're gonna have a quick look at the position changes, as that's very important. Benji, who made up 8 positions, he benefited by quite a bit from this wet weather condition, as he is looking to make a move on Baza, so that's probably gonna be 9 positions gained. So he's probably getting the driver of the day here. Rizzle, who's touching the curb there on the outside, might have caused some damage. I'm not too sure. I'm not seeing any visual damage, so it might not be too serious, as Rizzle is under fire. The Alpine, who broke a little bit too late, puts the pressure on the McLaren driver. So it is going to be a 1 second separation, 1.2 seconds, as Hightam touches the grass there on the outside of turn. Let me have a quick look what turn that is. Turn 4. Turn 4. So yeah, he has a little bit of a gap right now between himself and the Alpine driver as we're going to look at Alparca. Is he finally gonna make a move? I'm not too sure. Because I mean, he is probably a very experienced driver with 99 points or 92. I cannot really read it. I think it's 99 points on the board during this season. It's season 5. As he's looking to make a move down the inside. It's not gonna happen. Guesty, who has made up 3 positions to capture P1, as he is differenced by 1 second with Davila. There is an Alfa Romeo driver in sector 3 who couldn't keep his car on track. He has the fastest lap though, so that might be a good point for him on the board, as he doesn't have too much points in the standings right now at 35. And it's looking like a close battle between second and third, with only 3 points difference. And then P4 has 94, so that's 8 points difference between himself and Lozozen. Benji, who has also received a 3-second penalty, so that might be very well for Baza, who is currently battling those 2 guys. And I mean, that's going to be a definite P4 for him if he doesn't catch any more penalties. Maybe if he keeps his car on track, because it looked a little bit sloppy coming out of that corner. Is it going to be Alparca with a move? Let's have a quick look. On Benji down the outside. Benji defends quite nicely as there is a little bit of a tap. Is that going to be race over for Benji? Doesn't seem like it. He can keep his car on track. So as things are looking like right now, it's going to be a P1 for Guesty, a P2 for Davila, and a P3 for Lozozen. As these guys can't manage to get any closer to each other. Usually it is because there is no DRS, which is not enabled when it's raining. Yellow flag, sector 3. It is going to be the Alfa Romeo. So he's probably waiting for the guys to pass him, so he doesn't have to drive any more laps, which I don't think he is actually. Just crashed. Oh wait, it's 2 more. Oh my days! I thought there was happening something. Whoa! I thought the Alfa Romeo was not ghosted, so that would have been a great crash between these guys. Lozozen 6 tenths away from Davila. It's not gonna be there yet. Alparca 3 tenths. Is it gonna be a move down the inside? A dive bomb from Alparca? It doesn't seem like it as he moves. No positions up. Benji has caught a couple of tenths on Baza, but it's not going to be enough due to that 3-second penalty. So we're seeing a beautiful scenery here from the back of the Red Bull. 3 positions gained from Parker, and both Rizzle and the Mercedes driver have gotten 3 positions up on the board here. They're both going to get 1 point and 2 points for Parker. As AP Palves is the biggest loser of the night. He loses 7 positions with no points gained at the end of this race. Of course, it all depends if he's going to overtake Rizzle, but it doesn't seem like he's catching them by too much. Yellow flag in sector 2, and it is DP. He was in P11, so nothing too serious. As AP Palves, I'm not too sure. I think he crashed because Hightam has overtaken him. Rizzle is making a move on Parker. It seems to be going all pretty well for the McLaren driver as he moves up 1 position. Now trying to chase Alparca, but I don't think 10 seconds is realistic within 2 laps. Take stands for Lozozen right now. Is he finally gonna make that move he's been waiting up for so long? I don't think so. Guesty, who has made a little bit of a gap between himself and Davila, 1.7 tenths. So he has nothing to worry of unless he makes a little mistake. And we've got that Alfa Romeo car there in the middle of the pack, and I'm not too sure if that's allowed, but he's definitely gonna get reported because he is distracting the guys behind him. And maybe that's why Davila is losing a couple of tenths on Guesty. Benji with a 3-second penalty. Once again, a 3-second penalty. So he might be losing a position to Rizzle if he gets another 3-second penalty. 6 seconds for Benji right now. And I'm not too sure if Rizzle is going to get those 4 seconds. I don't think it is. Well, I don't think he is. 3 tenths for Lozozen. It's not going to be enough. He is looking to make the move. Maybe with a good exit coming out of this corner. He is going to have a good exit. So he's really close with 2 tenths. Is he going to have the slipstream? He's losing time on the straight, which is very remarkable because usually you've got that slipstream. But that means the Aston Martin has got a straight line speed setup here on Austria, which means the Red Bull driver cannot get there on the straights. And it is going to be Guesty to capture P1. Does the Aston Martin make any mistakes? It doesn't seem like it, as it is going to be Davila in P2, Lozozen in P3. Now we've got Baza with a great race here in P4. 8 seconds separated between himself and the guys up front. Alparca, is he close enough to make a move? It doesn't seem like it. 1.1 seconds. Benji in P6. Gasly with the fastest lap, he managed to push a little bit at the end of the lap, and that gave him the fastest lap. So he's gonna have one more point on the board, which is actually great because he is all the way back in P11. P11 for Gasly. He seems to be going all pretty well here during the Austrian Grand Prix, so maybe we're gonna see some great position gains at the end of this race in the standings. And all the drivers have finished. Rizzle in P7, Parker in P8, AP Halves, who is right out of the points, in P9, Hightom in P10, 72 in P11, and Sloke in P12, as that's gonna be your Austrian sprint race. I'm gonna check my phone real quick to see if I missed anything. All right, so congratulations to everyone who finished the race here from P1 to who else finished? I think it was P13, might be P13. I'm not too sure if DB actually finished the race, but we're going to have a look at the strategy prediction, because this is my strategy prediction for the Austrian Grand Prix, as we are probably gonna see a couple of guys go for a medium hard strategy, which is, in my opinion, the most smartest thing to do. Because here's the thing. A couple of scenarios. You have started on the mediums. There is an early safety car. You can immediately go for hards and finish the race on hards. That's how you win races. And it's going to be another rain session. So we are gonna get another wet weather condition race, as I don't think I need to discuss the strategy prediction then anymore. Maybe talk a little bit more about the tire degradation, which is not too high. So I think the guys can either stay on the wets or go for a wet. Might be something to look out for. Maybe when a pit lane is there. So. Well, what am I saying? There was something distracting me in my room. Maybe if there is going to be a... It's there again. What is that? This is pretty strange. All right. So if there is going to be a safety car, that was the word I was searching for. So if there is going to be a safety car, I mean, we're probably going to see a couple of guys go for wet tires, because I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? You're not losing any time. You're just chilling with new tires. Everyone is on all tires, and you're just easily overtaking them. To anyone who is watching the stream, can you let me know if the quality is alright? I'm trying out some new stuff, and I might switch over to 60 FPS, but right now I'm on 48. And it seems to be going all pretty well, but it's like lagging a little bit, so I'm not too sure if that's really what I want. So maybe I should switch over to 60. Then I maybe have to put in an Ethernet cable. So how is everyone's day going? Hope everyone is doing all pretty well. How do you like the scenery of the stream? I made this little layover based on the colors of FRL. So the red and the blue. It took me about, what am I gonna say? It took me about, to put in the colors, like 2 minutes. But to make the layover, oh my days, that was a pain in the ass, guys. That was a pain in the ass. Let's talk a little bit more about the standings. The guys are not there yet, so we can easily talk a little bit more about the standings. So the top 10 is going to be Davila, Lozozen, Alparca, AP Palves, who has to start from P9, Haitam. Haitam, he is in P10 right now. That's pretty disappointing to see him being in P5. Well, it's disappointing to see him in P10 during the actual race, but he is in P5, so that's pretty remarkable. He has 83 points. AP Powell's has 84 points. DB, who has to start from P13, has gotten 69 points. And we've got Basa in P8, 67 points. So everyone is lining up on the grid right now. So I hope there's not going to be any rain during the actual session. Well, there is probably going to be rain, but I hope later it's going to clear up. As it is 5 red lights, Guesties to start the race. It is going very early for the Austrian Grand Prix here, season 7. Well, no, season 5, round 7. As it seems like they're going all pretty well around this corner. Someone is going too wide. That seems to be Lozozen as he overtook Davila already. Guesty still in P1. There are some moves at the back of the grid. AP Pals in P12 matched in P13, and Haitam dropped all the way back to P14. Sloka in P10. He is currently battling with the AlphaTauri. How are things looking like here at the back? Nobody seems to be battling anymore. Matched right now overtook AP Palv, so it's not really the race AP Palv has hoped for. Rizzle in P5. How are things looking like for him? Both Benji and Rizzle overtook a couple of guys there. Overtook Baza Alparca, who was doing pretty well. Doesn't seem to be going pretty well right now. Parker in P8, Davey in 9. He started all the way in P13, so he got a few positions. So we're gonna have a quick look at the position changes. P4, well, P9, he overtook 4 people, 5 people right now down the inside of the Mercedes. Is that gonna be moved over? I'm not too sure. Let's have a quick look. They're still side by side here. Who's coming out first? And it is gonna be DP as they're going 3 wide. 2 wide. Sloke is gonna make a move on Parker. Is that going to be moved on? I'm not too sure. Late braking from Sloka. He hasn't made the move done as we're seeing Parker in P9 and Sloka to finish off top 10. 72 right now trying to make a move on Sloka. Is he going to make a dive bomb down the inside? He actually is. What a brave dive bomb from the AlphaTauri. He was next to the Alfa Romeo, so I don't think Sloka should have closed down, and he is going to lose a little bit of traction there coming out of the corner. That's going to lose him 2 positions as Pels and Haitam overtook him. Rizzle right now pretty close to his teammate as the McLaren team is going to score some good points here on the board. And there is a yellow flag, and that seems to be Haitam. Is it Haitam? Ooh, the Alpine team. I'm not too sure what they're doing today, but it doesn't seem like they're going to score some good points. AP Pals and 72 are having a battle here side by side. Don't touch the curb there on the inside. He does it anyway. 72. What a brave move, but it isn't not gonna be enough. Gasty with the fastest lap. 72 being a little bit too careful on the throttle there, seeing AP Palves drive away. As that's a great move by AP Palves. Rizzle still behind his teammate Sloka on 72. I'm not too sure what Sloka is doing. 72, my apologies. 72 was a little brave there on the inside. Well, on the move in the next corner. But he's dropping down positions fast right now, so I'm not too sure if that's really where he's feeling comfortable. That's Sloka right now. MP11. He's touching the curb there, so that might be an overtaking opportunity for 72. Never mind, because he loses his traction there. And I'm gonna have a quick look with the sound if everything is all right, because I've changed my sound settings a little bit, so that way you guys are able to hear a lot from the race, but a little less from me. I'm gonna have a quick look. I will be right back with you guys. Alright guys, my apologies, so I'm gonna get my settings to go back because this is not what I hoped it would sound like. Alright, so we are back here in the Austrian Grand Prix. Rizzle, is he gonna make a move on Benji? I'm not too sure. It doesn't seem like it, as that's not gonna be moved on for the McLaren driver. He's 4/10 away. Baza is looking really close to both McLaren drivers. And Rizzle taking the outside line there. Well, he took the inside line, but he has a little bit of a snap there coming out of that corner. Alparka in P7. He is closing down on these guys up front. It seems like they are struggling to keep traction on this track. I'm not too sure what's up. Still 32 laps to go. Ozozen in P2. 8/10s behind Guesty. That's not too bad. It seems like Alparka is the only guy who can keep his line here on this track. In the wet weather condition, he is going to be making a move on the Haas driver, Baza. Both the Haas drivers in 7th and 8th, that's not too good for Haas. Well, they're scoring a couple of points. Nothing too serious, unfortunately. Parker in P9, Sloka in P10. Avila 2 seconds behind Ozozen. What are things looking like for them? Guesty, who is keeping his car on track very consistently, because he's not losing any time on Ozozen. I mean, he has been around that 1 second range the whole race already, and it's looking all pretty well for him. Maybe we're gonna see him win the race. It all depends on what strategy the drivers are on. Are they gonna pit here for the other wet tires? Is it gonna be raining later on the race? I'm not too sure. Alparka 3/10s, 2/10s on Rizzle. Let's have a quick look what he is gonna do with the McLaren driver. I'm not too sure. It doesn't seem to be going all pretty well towards our Alpaca side. Yes, we have the fastest lap from Sloka. So from what I've noticed right now, Sloka is putting up fastest laps after fastest laps, but he is back in P10, so that says something about his consistency. As Alparka is looking to make a move down the outside, it's not going to be done for him. Asa in P7. He is closing down a little bit. DP is also closing down. IAP Palves, I'm not too sure. It seems like he is struggling here in the wet weather conditions. As that will not be a race to remember from his end. Alparka in P6. Lozozen in P2. Wonder if Lozozen is going to get any closer. Sector 2, there's a yellow flag. It seems to be Sloka. And as I said earlier, it says something about his consistency, and that's what he's proving to me right now. He's all the way back in P12. Not really getting the results he was hoping for. Alparka to make a move on Rizzle, as that's probably move done only if Rizzle is making a dive bomb down the outside. Maybe if he has a good exit coming out of this corner, as both drivers lose a little bit of traction, and that might be a good opportunity for Baza to make a move on Rizzle right now. Alparka defending the inside, so is Rizzle. And what are things turning out here? Baza with a good exit coming out of the corner. I think he's probably going to overtake Rizzle. I'm not too sure, it doesn't seem like it, as DB has closed down the gap. It's a four-way battle here. DB would probably move on his teammate. Ooh, down the outside. Are they gonna collide? It doesn't seem like it. Alparka still leading out of these four. Benji in P4, he has made a bit of a gap. Baza on Rizzle, as that's probably gonna be moved on. Benji with a 3-second penalty. So is Rizzle. Very unfortunate, as he cut the corner there coming out of sector 2. Now it's just a matter of time before he's getting overtaken by DB. DB, who seems to be struggling a little bit to keep his car on track there, as he was weaving around the track a little bit. Davila, who cannot keep the pace with Lozozen and Gesti. Magt, who is currently dropping down positions rather fastly as he spun coming out of the last corner. Benji in P4. Arca in P5. I wonder if he's gonna move up one position. These guys are battling at the back of, well, at the right behind him, so he's not gonna get any danger from them, as they're probably gonna lose more time on the Red Bull drivers, since whenever you're battling, you're gonna lose position. Well, you're gonna lose time and then positions eventually if you're gonna battle too much. 3-second penalty for Gesti. Ooh, that's something to keep in mind at the end of the race, where you're seeing dropping, well, him dropping down some tenths, as he's probably a little bit frustrated with that 3-second penalty. That affects your racing craft, which we can definitely see, because he was up by 1 second. He dropped down to 8 tenths, and right now he's up 1 second again. So maybe he's just a little bit stronger in the first sector, with that first corner being a very difficult one, definitely in the rainy weather. As Baza is currently in P6, he's not looking to make a move. Rizzle might be looking for a move. 9 tenths, it's not going to be enough. Magt in P13. He is getting overtaken by AP Pals, as Magt is probably going to retire from the race. I'm not too sure. He has pitted. Is he going to retire? Good evening, Intrinsic. Glad you're here. We've currently got the FRL Racing League. Well, what a Formula Racing Community. No, Formula Racing League, that's what it's called. And they're in their Season 5, Round 7 right now, around Austria, as the guys are having to struggle with rain. So, yeah, nothing too exciting. We're not seeing a lot of moves from these guys, as it's currently very difficult to make a move in rainy weather. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Is the quality of the stream good, Intrinsic? Because I'm seeing a couple of frame drops. I'm not too sure if that's the cause of my computer or of the game. But it's not looking too professional, so my apologies for that. Track evolution. I think it's gonna be. I think it's just gonna be rain the whole session. I think it's just gonna be rain all session. So we might switch over to intermediates. And I usually have my telemetry, but For some reason, my telemetry got deleted from my computer. It did it by itself, so I'm not too sure what's up with that. But yeah, for what things are looking like right now, it's raining too heavy to switch over to intermediates. This Rizzle is really close to DB at the moment, 210, so we might be able to see a move down the first sector. And he dropped back 5/10 again. I'm not too sure if it's Rizzle or if it's just a track, but the guys are not really capable of sticking behind anyone. 72 with a 3-second penalty. I'm not too sure what's up there because he is in the wall. He's getting overtaken by Hightom right now. Rizzle still in P7 as his teammate Benji manages to keep up the strong pace. P4 right now, 6 seconds behind Davila. Parka in P5. Basa in P6 and Rizzle in P7. DB dropped back a little bit, 1.6 seconds between himself and Rizzle. Parker, who cannot keep up the pace with these guys up front. He is 4 seconds slower. Well, 4 seconds behind. Oh, we've got Sloka in P10. He crashed a few times. He's had a couple of fastest lap. I'm not too sure what's up with him. It's the Belgian spirit from Sloka. Item in P11, 5 seconds behind Sloka and A72M. Is he gonna get closer to Hightom? It seems like it, but he has that penalty to keep in mind. AP Pals in P13, 4.5 seconds. This is definitely not a race to remember for him because he was looking so strong during the qualifying. Getting that P1 or P2. I'm not too sure what he got in qualifying. But then in the sprint race, he couldn't manage to keep his car on track during the first corner of the first lap. And he dropped back to all the way off the back. And he couldn't manage to climb up the ladder. So he had to start from the back right now. He is at the back, so it's not really a race from him to keep in mind. Well, it's just, you know, it's one of these races you have to complete, and then the next race, just forget what happened last race, and you'll be all good. You will be all good. It doesn't seem like anyone is within 1 second, so we're just chilling here. Max, who is causing yellow flags in Sector 2. That will not be something to keep in mind going into next race. Well, it might be something to keep in mind, you know. Just keep your car on track. Is what he might be saying to himself next race. It's raining very heavily. I'm not too sure if we're ever gonna see intermediates today. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have a little bit of a drink because these guys are not really planning on attacking each other, so we're past 1/3 of the race as the guys are currently chilling. As it is still gonna be a P1 for Guesty. Lozozen in P2. 3 seconds behind. He was trailing by like 1 second, but he has dropped back all the way to 3.6 seconds. So that 3-second penalty of Guesty might not come into play when reviewing the standings. Parka seems to be pretty close to Benji, so let's switch over to that one. as Sloka crashed out of the corner back again, as he is gonna put himself in P13 right now. Alparka 6 tenths behind Benji, so this might be the only battle we're gonna see today in the second half of the race. Well, it's not even the second half, but I think we're not gonna see too many overtakes today, as Sloka retired from the session. Very unfortunate for him, as there is a safety car, guys. Safety car situation, so we might see a couple of guys come into the pits, put on a new set of rubber. I'm not too sure if, as the guys are really slowing down here, and that's gonna be very interesting. Not too sure what happened there, but that might be a penalty for either of two. Lopez left the session. Benji coming into the pits. Benji with a 3-second penalty. Oh. As all the other guys are coming into the pits for new sets of tires. Benji stays out. So is Guesty. So both drivers having penalties are staying out. Rizzle, who has a 5-second penalty. Alparka, who jumped someone in the pits. Oh, he was in P5 already. Never mind. Rizzle, I think he jumped someone. No, he didn't jump someone. So this might be the chance for AP Palves. Is he gonna get a couple of positions? Everyone is getting closer to each other, so that's gonna be a great chance for AP Palves to get a couple of positions. Maybe strike back into that top 10. He only has to overtake 2 people to be able to compete with the top 10. It's Guesty, I'm not too sure. Guesty disqualified from the session, ignoring yellow flags. What is up with this session? I'm not too sure if this is really... Guesty was disqualified from the session. This might be a restart of the race, guys. Not too sure what happened there. Benji coming into the pits. He is getting overtaken by Baza. Baza in P4 right now. Aparka in P3. Davula in P2. And Lozozen in P1. Trying to get a little bit more information from Guesty. Guesty got disqualified for overtaking the safety car. Guesty, who went into the pits and didn't manage to come out of it. Well, didn't manage to get into it. And I'm seeing intermediates, guys. I'm seeing intermediates. A couple of guys went for intermediates. A couple of guys went for wet tires. And I can tell you one thing, those intermediate tire runners are gonna get fucked. Because it's raining too heavy to be on intermediates. We can see some little... What is that called actually? Spray? Is it called spray? I'm not too sure. Spray? Something like that. Like those little water behind your car whenever you're driving, you know. We're halfway past the race. Not yet. Not yet. Still one more lap. Still we're halfway past the race. Lozozen still leading the race. Guesty Pops, who was probably gonna win the race, but he got disqualified very unfortunately. Sloka DNF'd. So did Max. Davula in P2. I wonder what he's going to be capable of doing here with those wet tires. Is Lozen actually going to benefit from those intermediates? I'm not too sure. Is he keeping his car on track? the first corner? That's going to be the question. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. Avila. He is going to get some tricks out of the book here to be able to overtake Lozozen. Safety car is coming in this lap. Rizzle, what happened to Rizzle? I think he pitted for intermediates and he didn't feel like he was comfortable on those intermediates. And right now he pitted back for wets, I think. Because he's on one lap old wets and I'm not too sure what's actually up with that. So, safety car coming in this lap. We are going to see an interesting start from these guys at the front because we're seeing two guys with intermediate tires. Lozozen, is he going to go early or is he going to go late? It seems like he's going pretty early. Ooh, he's losing a little bit of traction. That was a pretty risky move to go on for intermediates as he's already getting overtaken by Davila. Is that going to be a dive bomb coming into the corner here? The Red Bull driver manages to keep the position, but he went a little bit too wide as he is still up for P1 as he's getting overtaken right now. Is he going to get overtaken by his teammate? He is defending. That's a very brave move, but he's getting overtaken anyway as he is going to close down the gap between himself and Baza because Baza didn't have much room to work with, but he manages to make the overtake work. Benju is all the way in P9, so those intermediate tire runners have not chosen the best option as they're getting overtaken rather fastly. Parker in P4 in a battle with DB, and those guys. Ooh, 72. I'm not sure what's up with him, but he touched the wall there as a part of his front wing is not there anymore. So that's probably going to be raised over for 72. We're not going to see any more safety cars here. Both McLarens were looking very strong currently in P10 and P11. As AP Palves has gotten a few positions. The Red Bull is coming into the pits. Lozozen probably for wet tires as that's going to be raised over. Watch out for that 5-second penalty. As he didn't catch that 5-second penalty. Rizzle also coming into the pits. What is Benji doing? He's staying out. What a brave move from the McLaren driver. As he thinks it's gonna dry up. Interesting thinking. Parker right now in P5. 7/10s between him and DB. Parker, well known for his brave moves. I think I saw one. Well, I haven't commentated yet on these guys, but I've seen some great things from Parker. Is he gonna do the same on DB? I'm not too sure. DB is looking strong all race. And trying to remember what he got in the sprint race. I think it was either P6 or P7. No, he got P13. He was far back though. He was per P13 or P12, I think. P11. Might be P11. Wait, I can look that up. Hold on. What am I doing being so stupid? He gained 9 positions, so he started in P13. So DB is definitely gonna be your driver of the day for today. Nobody is really close. Alparca in P2 looking at a gap of 9/10s between himself and Davila. He didn't have a great Hightam crashed out of the second corner. Not a great way to start the second half of the race. 72 right now. He doesn't have any wing damage anymore, so that's great. How did that happen? Did he pit? Did he pit? I think I missed that if he pit. Wait, I can look. No, he didn't pit. Who was the guy who had front wing damage? It was 72, right? I have to rewatch the stream because he touched the wall there. On the exit of turn 5, I think it was, turn 4. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so DB Alparca 310s behind Davoline. I think he's got troubles with corner exits because he's usually getting some straight line speed and he's gaining time, but every time he gets close, he's gonna lose some time coming out of the corner. Look, 610s right now, 710s, 810s, 910s. See, he's losing time after time. And I'm not too sure what's up with that, if it's just the setup. But there has to be a way how to gain time, and I think it's here in the second sector where he is already gaining 1/10. How is it looking like in sector 3 as they're crossing the second sector line right now to start sector 3? 1 second to beat. He's probably getting a lot of time here in these last couple of corners. He is not. I'm not too sure what's up. Yeah, he actually is. Look, Rizzle with a 3-second penalty. That's not too good, as he is looking at a P9 position. 7/10s for Alparca, as he's definitely gaining time on the main straight. Does he have a good exit coming out of that corner? It doesn't seem like it. He's losing another couple of 10s, so it's not going to be a move for Alparca pretty soon, as AP Pals is looking to make a move on Parker. He is closing down the gap. 8/10s between himself and the Mercedes driver. 5/10s for Parker on DB. DB who has a 3-second penalty, so he is going to drop down a couple of positions. 72 who is closing down the gap on AP Pals. (72) 3-second penalty to keep in mind, as the drivers are starting lap 23 after this one. Alparca with 6/10s behind. 9/10s for AP Pal. 7/10s, he's closing down the gap. But so is 72. As both drivers are looking to make a move here in lap 23. Still a 3-second penalty for DB, maybe even a 6-second penalty. As it might be intermediate tire conditions. I'm gonna have a quick look how the time status is from Benji, as he is the only driver on intermediate tires, and it seems like he's closing down a little bit on Lozozen. Lozozen, who's usually one of the faster drivers on track. 11.5 seconds for Benji. The track is drying up a little bit, so this might be an indicator for a couple of guys to come into the pits to put on some intermediate tires. I mean, it's not intermediate tire weather yet. It's like a couple of laps more, because Benji has lost about half a second this lap. But we also have to compare Benji with Lozozen on dry tire conditions, because this might affect nothing, you know, the weather and the tires. Because if Benji is overall slower than Lozozen, we don't have to look at that. He has lost about 1 second this lap. AP Pals with a move on Parker. Is it going to be a move down the inside? It seems like it, as that's going to be moved on from AP Pals. Great move, as Parker is looking to make a move back. They're going side by side into turn 3. Who is going to come out first? It seems like Parker is going into the corner first, as he's going to brake later. He's not closing down the corner, so that's going to be a great defend from Parker, as 72 is trying to make a move around the outside of AP Pals. Has to go for the inside move, maybe make a dive bomb. This is the excellent corner to make a dive bomb move, maybe go around the outside and make a dive bomb there. But it doesn't seem like the AlphaTauri driver was looking to make a move there. Just keep it consistent, not to making too many mistakes. that might be happening from a move there in sector 2. AP Pals now, as Parker is losing a little bit of traction, that might have caused a little bit of damage for 72 Hightam, who's trying to capture P7. Parker, I'm not too sure where he is right now. He lost a couple of positions to Rizzle, Hightam, 72, and AP Pals. He's losing even more traction. I'm not too sure what's with Parker. Maybe a little bit of a concentration loss. 72, who is looking at a P6 right now. Hightam, who's making a move. Ooh, 72, who didn't fully... Ooh, he's going into the wall. That's a broken front wing for 72, as he has to be happy with a P9. We might be able to see a safety car. It doesn't seem like it, as the yellow flag has been removed already. 72, who has a broken front wing. Well, he has no front wing. Parker in P8. Rizzle in P7. 3/10 separated from Hightam. Because I think there's going to be an exciting battle for these guys the next couple of 11 laps. AP Pals has done a great job trying to get back into the top 5. He was looking at no points as he started in P9. Well, of course in P9 you get a couple of points, but I think he crashed or something. I'm not too sure what was up, but he was definitely out of the points. But right now he's looking at a P5. 72 coming into the pits. He has no front wing, so he'll probably have to put a new one in. Well, on his car. Benji in P11, not really taking the strategy he's wanted. Parker still in 8. Is he gonna try and make a move on Rizzle? Alparca, who doesn't seem to manage to get any closer to Davila, my apologies, as they're both 1.5 seconds separated from each other. So that's quite a bit of a gap. 6.3 for Baza, 3.4 for DB. Rizzle with another 3 seconds of penalties, as that's going to be a big benefit for AP Pavs, who doesn't have a penalty yet. And I wonder how many warnings he has already. Rizzle 8/10 behind Hightam. Parker has dropped out of the 1 second. Yellow flag in sector 2, and it seems to be 72 in the AlphaTauri car. No safety car deployed, so that means there wasn't a serious crash there. Probably just lost a little bit of traction, not causing any damage. As AP Pavs not taking that corner too well, as he went a little bit too wide coming out of the corner. Another yellow flag caused by 72, and want to have a quick look what's happening here. Maybe he doesn't feel too comfortable on these tires, as he is on wet tires. It doesn't seem, well, it is still raining. He is coming into the pits, so I wonder what that could be. We're gonna have a quick look. He might be retiring from the session, guys. He might be retiring. It doesn't seem like it. He's gonna put another set of tires. He's gonna put intermediates. But as we saw from Benji and Lozozen, Benji, who couldn't manage to get any closer to Lozozen, it's not going to be the right decision for 72. So we're going straight to Alparca, who is 5/10 separated from Davila. Benji with another 3 seconds of penalties. It's Alparca is trying to get closer. It's not really working out for him, as the top 6 all gained a couple of positions. Davila gained 1, Baza gained 1, Alparca gained 3. DB with an amazing score of 9. He moved himself up to P4, AP Pavs in P5, and Hightam in P6. couple of guys have gotten a penalty. Let's have a quick look with that. 3-second penalty for DB. There is a yellow flag in sector 2, and it seems like that's going to be 72 again. So this is not a race he has hoped for. AP Pavs with a move on DB. DB who probably made a mistake. All the way in P5 right now. He's trying to make a move back. He's giving the position back, I think. AP Pavs, I'm not too sure what's up here, as they're battling around the last couple of corners. Still 7 more laps to go. Highton managed to close down the gap. So we're seeing a 3-way battle, possibly a 4-way battle if Rizzle manages to get any closer. 72 with once again another spin on track. Rizzle 2/10. Is he going to be making a move around the outside? Let's have a quick look. Rizzle, who is already past Hightam. Hightam, who's going to make a little bit of a dive bomb here. 72 retired from the session, as that's going to be another safety car. Very interesting. So I wonder who's going to come into the pits. I wonder who's coming into the pits. Doesn't seem like Davila is coming into the pits. Neither is Alparca. We might be seeing Baza coming into the pits. It doesn't seem like it. It would have been an ideal strategy from Baza, as AP Pavs is 10 seconds behind them. 9 seconds right now. DB not coming into the pits. It doesn't seem like anyone is coming into the pits. It would be an ideal strategy right now to go for wet tires, as it is still very rainy on track right now. Gonna have a quick look at what everyone's tires are looking like. 15 laps on the wet tires. I'm not too sure if that's gonna be good or not. There is definitely a Michael Masi safety car, probably in the favor of Alparca. Franzik, is the quality of the stream good? Because I feel like it's lagging a little bit, and that means I have to switch over to 60 FPS. Is it good, or is it a little bit disappointing? Because you haven't answered my question earlier. Right, that's good. AP Pals right now. MP4. Is he gonna get a top 3 position? Is he gonna get a top 3 position? Not too sure, guys. He was all the way back at P9, even during the first safety. Ooh! What happened there? I think someone touched another guy. I think someone touched AP Pavs. That was very dangerous. So we saw DB maybe touch the Aston Martin driver, but what I was saying, AP Pavs, who was all the way back at P13 or something, P12, he was looking at no points during this race, but right now he's scoring 12 points, so that's great for him. As there is still a yellow flag. Benji, who cannot catch up with these guys on his intermediate tires. Interesting approach from the McLaren driver, as I think he should have gone for wet tires, because, I mean, he's on intermediate tires and all the other guys seem to be faster, seem to have fresher tires, although Benji was the last driver to pit. He's catching a little bit, and it might be turning into his favor, although it is raining pretty hard still here in Austria. Parka 610 safety car is coming into this lap. I'm gonna have a quick sip of my water, guys. If you are drinking something, make sure it's not alcohol. Well, I mean, if you like a little bit of a sip of alcohol. I cannot promote alcohol, so I'm not gonna do that. But if you're sitting here with a good beer Sunday evening, it's all going pretty well. So Davila, to finish off these last couple of laps, is he gonna end up in P1? Seemed like he was feeling pretty confident last couple of laps. Is he already going? Rizzo with another 3 seconds of penalty, so he's gonna drop a couple of positions in my opinion. Top 3 is not looking to make a move. What are things looking like here at the back? Rizzo has made a move on DB, as DB is dropping down positions, well, a couple of positions. I mean, he was looking at a P3. Right now, he's looking at a P6. Rizzle to make a move on AP paths. Is that going to be moved on? Beautiful dive bomb from Rizzle, as that's going to be P4 for the McLaren driver. AP paths who couldn't defend there on the inside of turn 2. Parker who made a move on Lazozen. Lazozen seemed to be making a move down the inside of turn 3. Is that going to be moved on? Beautifully done by the Red Bull driver, as that's going to be moved on for him, moving himself up to P8, scoring 4 points on board for the Red Bull team, and himself, of course, Hitam. Benji to make a move. I think maybe these intermediate tires. Oh, he switched over to wet tires. Ah, smart Benji. Smart Benji. And right now, I mean, he is scoring points, so he listened to me. Marco with a 3-second penalty. No way. As that will probably move Baza to P2. As if he can keep up with these guys. 8 tenths separated between himself and the Red Bull driver. As that will be a definite P1 for Davila if he can manage to keep his car on track. 3 tenths between AP Pals and Rizzle, who is trying to make a move on Baza, so we might be able to see. Wait, hold on. Let's have a quick look how many penalties Rizzle has. 12 seconds. 12 seconds for Rizzle, as that will move him down all the way to P9. That will move him all the way down to P9, as we're seeing Benji, his teammate, with 9 seconds of penalties. Arca. This 3-second penalty is really not something turning into his favor. Three tenths between Lozozen and DB. You might be seeing a move from these guys within the next couple of laps. There's still 2 more laps to go after this one. So we're currently in lap 34 of 36. Alparca. Really close to Davila right now, but not close enough to make a move. As Lozozen is a little bit closer. The Haas driver touched the curb on the outside there, so I might be able to see an opportunity for the Red Bull driver. Is he going to be making a move down the inside there? Is he going to make a dive bomb? It seems like it, as the Haas driver leaves enough space for the Red Bull to get past, as that seems... losing his rear there a little bit. As Hitam is looking to make a move too, but it's not happening, as Lozozen moves himself up to P6. DB trying to defend the best out of his car, but it seems to be struggling a little bit. As Benji is in P9, he seemed fast all race until he went for intermediate tires, and right now Benji in P9. He also has that 9-second penalty, so we might not be able to see him not being last, as he's probably gonna drop all the way to P10. AP paths 3 tenths behind Rizzle, and this has to be the opportunity for him. If it's not gonna be this one, it's gonna be none, because we've got 1 more lap to go after this one. Hitam, who's having an incident with DB. I think it was DB, the Haas driver. As both drivers will now drop back all the way to P9 and P10. This is very frustrating. You've been racing all race. I think this has been a race of like, I'm not too sure how many laps or hours. I think 1.5 hour. You've been racing for 1.5 hour, and then you have to finish off your race with a P10. And I think it was caused by DP because Lozozen to make a move on Rizzle. My apologies to miss that. But yeah, DB, I think it was caused by DP because he's letting Hightom get past quite fast. So Rizzle, I mean, I'm not too sure what happened here. This was an easy move for Lozozen in Sector 3, usually a sector where it's not really easy to make an overtake work. Last lap of the race. Alparca! Alparca, does Davila have a bad exit coming out of the corner? It doesn't seem like it. Alparca is still 7 tenths behind the Aston Martin driver. Rizzle 8 tenths behind Lozozen, as that will be a great way to finish off this race for Lozozen. Looking at a P13 all race. No, P12, my apologies. P12 or P11. Moving all the way up to P4 to catch some good points for the team. 12 points is what he's gonna get. Alparca is probably gonna drop down a position if Baza can keep up the pace. 2.4 seconds. He has to gain 6 more tenths within these last couple of laps. Well, last couple of corners. Is he gonna get there? 2.7, 2.6, 2.5. It's not gonna be enough. So that's gonna be Baza in P2, Alparca in P3, Lozozen in P4, Rizzle in P5, Benji in P6. Parker, no, Rizzle is not gonna be in P5 because he's gonna drop all the way to the back. AP Paths in P6, Rizzle in P7. I think it was gonna be Benji in P8, Hightam in P9, and DB in P10. Very much indeed a good race. AP Paths with driver of the day. Remarkable, as we saw another couple of guys have a good race here in Austria. So we're seeing Davila coming out of the pit lane. Well, not the pit lane, the paddock. So he is gonna stand on the podium to capture that trophy. Great race by the top 3. Great race by the whole lobby, as we got some clean fights even during wet weather conditions. These are the standings of today. Davila, the Welshman, who managed to score 7 points in the sprint race, 25 in the actual race. Baza scored 5 points in the sprint race, 18 in the actual race. And then we've got a tight P3 between Alparca and Lozozen, both Red Bull drivers, as they're both going to score 19 points. And this is great for Davila as he's moving up no positions, but he's gaining a couple of points, well, extending his lead by a couple of points. Lozozen, who is currently P2 in the championship. And let's see who didn't score any points today. Macht, Sloke, and 72 scored 0 points. Very unfortunate because 72 was looking at a very strong race, but he didn't manage to keep his car on track. He retired, caused the safety car, so that's very unfortunate. DB, who scored 1 point, Hightam, who scored 2 points, Benji, who scored 7, AP Paths, who scored 10, as that was gonna be the results of the race. These are your sprint race results, with Guesty dropping out of the actual race. And your sprint race, well, I cannot show any sprint race anymore, so we're gonna do a little recap of what happened during the race. As today's race was on the Red Bull Ring, we saw some interesting things. The sprint race was a little bit boring. We saw a couple of guys fighting. It was Guesty who scored P1, Davila who scored P2, and then I don't really remember who got P3. But Gasly got disqualified during the actual race for overtaking the safety car. So he was looking at a P1, but had to be happy with a disqualification. Well, he doesn't have to be happy, but he has to agree with the disqualification because overtaking the safety car is simply a DNF. So, what else happened? Let's have a quick look. Davila won the race. He had a very consistent race. Alparca, who was looking at a bit of a poor race, managed to get back to P3. Well, he managed to get back to P2, but he got overtaken due to a 3-second penalty. Baza, who got P2. Great points for the Haas driver, as all the three drivers are in the top 5 of the standings. Baza. Wait, where is Baza? Oh, Baza is all the way in P8. So he's going to score a couple of good points. He's going to overtake probably Magt, DB, even Haitam. He might be overtaking AP Pavs. Pavs, who scored 12 points during the actual race. Baza, who scored 18. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to be an overtake for Baza on AP Pavs, but still 2 positions gained in the actual standings. That's pretty good. I'm very happy you guys were watching the stream right now. I'm gonna post this stream on YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome and goodbye. This was VB Thomas as your commentator, and we will be right back next week with another race here in the FRL Racing League. Well, FRL Racing League is Formula Racing League. So, yeah, we will be right back. Peace out.